3 lots in order to achieve that, to break out this 16-acre lot to go with the farm. Lot 1 is approximately 15 acres with, it's got a ton of frontage here along.
So that's gonna be the farm?
Nope, this is
okay.
here.
Oh, okay.
So this is the existing driveway that kind of comes
Yeah.
up off of.
Okay.
Long Hill
It's
Road.
that brick farmhouse.
Yeah.
So it's about 987 feet of frontage, 15 acres, and then lot 3 is a little over 3 acres with 256 feet of frontage.
This is that yellow colonial Jack Sargent did?
Yep.
And then that's anymore?
Yep, exactly.
So is this just a typical A&R?
It is, yep.
No backland lots, no special permits, yeah.
They have plans to further, I know it's not on the table now, but further subdivide maybe later, but now we're just thinking about this?
Yeah, so, and again, they're in no rush to do that.
This just allows for the house to be in one nice...
Because that's
decent
kind
sized
of what,
parcel.
when we were talking about possibly doing a subdivision would be, because I told them, we're basically, given the size of the property, the amount of frontage,
Yep.
it tripped the major residential. So by doing this, basically, they're not able to do anything for probably five years.
Oh,
So they
okay.
allow us.
Okay, okay.
So at this point, they're just gonna cut these out.
It's a long
What
term.
can't they do for 5 years?
So under a major residential subdivision is, if it's 6 lots or more and greater than, was it 15 acres? You can basically, the 6 lots, if you're gonna do those within a 5-year period,
Mhm.
you have to file under the major residential, which means that we would have to prepare a phosphid open space plan as well as a traditional plan. And it kind of forces that.
So if you divide to 6 or more?
Correct.
So is there the potential for 4 lots on Meadow Road?
Yes, yeah.
And what about dividing the lot with the house, subdividing that? Where,
Could they subdivide this?
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, by frontage and area, sure. I mean, it's 16 acres with 938 feet of frontage. It would be difficult to do that, which is kind of why it is this size, just because, where the farmhouse is situated,
right.
And actually, I mean, the other things you look at when you talk about subdividing land is you gotta get septic systems on there, and almost all of this is all ledge.
Ledge.
Yeah, so
Okay.
really, in order to sell the house, we basically did a Title V and upgraded the septic, and the only place we could even find the system is out in the back here, so. So I guess that's to say, it would be a low likelihood that you could further subdivide
Hmm.
that lot.
Seems straightforward to me.
So are there any deeds or any restrictions as part of, are they?
Just an A&R.
Is the estate putting any restrictions on them?
Not that I am aware of, but again, I haven't really been involved in that.
Okay.
What do you mean? Because it's historic? Because it's
No, just
farm?
if the family wanted to put restricted deeds on the land.
Okay, voluntarily.
Yeah,
putting on some
voluntarily, just
restrictions.
interested
Okay.
to see.
I was just looking at them.
Oh, good. Yeah. I thought you were just texting.
No.
Seems to be forgetting.
No.
That's your house. That's your butter, the yellow.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty far up there.
Is this your neighborhood?
No.
This printout, GIS printout.
What was this back here?
So
Sorry,
this
I'm
kind of
late.
shows,
Hello.
this area here is this
That
field.
paddock.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at right there.
Jonathan, the project for
So what is that back there?
That's a field.
Walter
Oh.
was there. There's a big
Right,
tree.
yep.
Yeah, the Henry's piece, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, just looking at it too, the wetland system, kind of large that comes through.
Yeah, sure.
And there's also
It's up on the
wetland.
road.
Yeah,
There's a wetland.
exactly, fire pond there, yeah.
That's what they call it. That's a fire pond.
Yeah.
So where are you gonna put
What is the one house gonna be on this lot? Up closer?
Well, there could be 4 houses.
Again, yeah, we're not even
Oh,
really,
oh.
we're not
Just
we're
legally
just,
splitting
I mean,
it.
really, we're just kind of cutting this piece out to sell this at this, you know, so there's
Okay.
no homes, nothing proposed.
Nothing planned for here?
No.
Intuitively, you probably end up putting one house here and then splitting this up into some pieces.
I mean, it seems like maybe the most that you could get on Meadow Road would be 3 with the fire. I don't know. I drove by it today.
Can I just look at that? Sorry.
What are the rules about shared driveways?
They're a lot better, right? Well, when you say shared, you guys allow for 2 to be a shared. Anything more than 2 is considered a common driveway, which is a special permit.
Okay. Marching towards full build out here.
So many of these, yeah.
Yeah, things are cracking around here, aren't they?
Do we have a motion or more questions?
Just give Danielle a minute to.
Sure. I'm just mindful of our schedule.
Yes, I have.
There's some real drainage issue problems on this plan. So, you know, no.
Yeah, we won't comment on that now.
So what, this is that little jog right there? The little bend? Yeah. And then what, the one goes behind? This is another piece. Yeah. Faust or Faust.
There's a
And
house
that's
there,
that
yeah.
house. It's weird.
How big is this?
No, I'm sorry.
No,
there's 2.
30 acres,
Yeah.
so you're dividing right
There's
now
one
into 30.
bigger.
Yeah, again, what we're saying before is really at this point.
Actually, what was that?
It's settled in the state, but there was to sell off the existing
Yeah.
house.
Danielle,
And
can you see that?
There's
Yeah.
a farm there, we'd like to keep that intact.
And how big is that?
Oh,
lot
I see.
too?
17 acres.
So one house has This is one of those weird
900 feet.
fact line lots.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I see what's going on. Okay.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion to accept the A&R for 96 Long Hill Road to be subdivided into 3 lots.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Do you want my letter? Yes. So this is for sale then?
It's sold, well, so basically, this is
Under
being done
agreement.
for closing, yeah.
Oh.
So-
Dated today, obviously.
Yes.
I adopted a cat from this property. It's full disclosure.
That's your
Confuse yourself, yeah.
That's grounds for accusing.
He ran away
Oh.
after a year, but
Oh,
he was a
no.
good cat.
Oh.
They run back to their property, is this some kind of scam?
We went back to look.
Was it a barn cat?
No, he was like a house cat, and we kind of let him come and go in and out.
How old was he when you adopted him?
I think he was kind of old. He might
Okay,
he
so-
might have just like crawled under a bush and sunk in there.
So before we move on to the next order of business, I wanted to get the board's opinion on something. Laura Kishnetz from Bolton Local is setting up the library room for the Green Community Session tonight. And the way that she's setting it up, she was gonna have a table towards the front for planning board to sit at in case there were questions from the audience to planning board. Are you guys comfortable with that?
I have more questions than answers, but okay.
I'm sure.
We're not running the meeting, right?
No, not at all. And the questions won't be related to the stretch code. If there's any questions, I'm assuming
Relating to zoning, I
bylaws,
guess.
anything that pertains to your
Eric, you
jurisdiction.
just have to sign the line.
Oh, this one?
Do
Important,
I
huh?
sign this one as well?
Yep,
I did go to town caucus last week.
I heard.
I was texting Dave, I was like, I don't think anybody knows to like nominate her.
Well, I was wondering, and then someone
I
randomly.
think Stan was talking.
Oh, okay.
Standard, because I emailed, at like 5, I emailed the selectman and I emailed Pam and I said, somebody please nominate Danielle.
Who nominated you?
Stan?
Okay.
So did anybody running against you?
No,
There's no race. You know, it's crazy.
No broker convention?
All the contention about selectmen, and, you know, it's always unopposed. It's like everybody talks.
There wasn't anyone,
Yeah.
no one ran against anyone last night.
No,
Like,
but
through
the
the
thing is-
whole,
It's like everybody stands up and shouts during, you know, the meeting, and then nobody ever really does anything. Except when you ran.
Were you expecting somebody to?
No, I wasn't.
to run?
No, I'm just.
Yeah,
It's just funny that there's so much talk and
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good
I
one.
know.
nobody ever.
yeah, no, it lasted 10 minutes,
Yeah,
It was-
it's a fast meeting.
which was good because I had my daughter, my
Brenda, did you
5-year-old
need
daughter.
this?
That's my copy.
It wasn't like the Iowa caucuses or something.
Thanks.
Or the named, I mean, I don't know what
You go all day.
they were. They were both the Republican and the Democratic caucuses named.
Yeah.
Feel free to come up, Mr. Teacher.
So with things like this, it's good if you can to drive by, do a
Yeah.
drive-by, if you
Okay.
have time.
Another night I might have, tonight, I was literally.
No, I mean, not
It's
everybody
crazy.
does it, but if you can during the week.
You can't do it ahead of time.
Do you have an update, Erica?
I do, so this is business regarding Teal Road. Town council weighed in on, there was a question at the last meeting whether or not the applicant had to submit a new A&R plan to the planning board. Town council basically came back and said there were 2 options that the applicant could move forward with. The first one is he could record a paper copy of the old plan along with an affidavit from his attorney. The registry of deeds may accept that. If they don't, then.
What's the affidavit say?
You know, I'm not quite sure. We didn't get into that level of detail. I'm assuming it's probably, has something to
Just
do
a
with the
short
fact.
history of
It attests to what it is, what we went
Exactly,
through, it was
exactly. That's
approved
my
by this
guess.
board, it was recorded here, a summary.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the first option, and if that works out, great, he can then just move forward with the lot frontage variances with ZBA.
Yeah.
And he's good to go. The second option, if they deny that, is the new A&R plan. And the tricky part about the new plan is that the A&R plan can only be submitted for one buildable lot that relies on a very lot frontage. If he's looking to have more than one buildable lot, then he actually has to move forward through the subdivision approval process, which is obviously much more cumbersome. So that's basically the 2 options.
And we could certainly entertain a subdivision proposal, it's just more
Right.
steps involved.
It's just more steps
It's what you want
involved.
to do.
Right.
Okay.
I checked with the registry,
Yeah.
and it doesn't sound like they're gonna take that.
Take an affidavit?
No, they didn't seem to want to do that at
Okay.
all. Now, I'm still unclear, I read that, you know, you'd sent that to me, and
Yeah.
I read that, and what I'm unclear of is when it says A&R plan for a single lot, can I bring in a plan that shows only parcel number 1?
Yes.
Okay, so that is
And if that's your
acceptable.
intention, that's acceptable.
And that is my intention, so
Okay.
I think that would be easy. So I come back with a plan that just shows parcel number 1 and an easement across it that would be for a shared driveway in the future that may never materialize.
Yep.
Then that's it.
And at that point, just to cut you off, that you're not asking for a shared driveway, you're asking for an easement, you're showing an easement.
I'm just showing an easement that will be an agreement
Yep.
between me and the purchaser.
Yes, yep.
And that comes to you prior to ZBA?
After ZBA. So
Yeah,
the,
ZBA.
so the idea would be you go to ZBA, get your lot frontage frontage variance, and once you have your variance, then you submit your A&R plan to the planning board. And that way, they know it can be a buildable lot because you have your
So
variance.
do I submit that A&R, do I show that A&R plan to ZBA for
Yeah,
this?
so that would be
So
the
I-
best way to do
I
it.
get it
is get a
prepared.
preliminary plan.
Yeah.
Show it to ZBA, say, look, these are my hardships, this is why I can't meet lot frontage.
And the
because
only
of
thing they need to
town line.
approve is the one variance on the lot frontage on parcel number 1.
Right,
And then it comes back here.
and then the planning board can sign it.
Sign it.
Approves an A&R, which is just what we did.
What I just saw,
Yep.
which was,
Yep.
okay, so there's no public notices
Nope,
for the
not for
A&R,
an A&R.
but for the ZBA
There will be.
there will be.
Yeah.
Do I work with
Yeah, you
you
can work with me and I can help
on
you
the
put
ZBA?
that together.
How many more weeks
I was
does he
gonna say
have?
quickly, we're.
So what I'll do is, I think I already sent you,
Yes,
the
yeah.
the regulations and the application and everything for variance,
Yeah.
so, I'll make sure that someone in town hall can help you with that, so.
So this new plan isn't, it's a A&R plan or it's a perimeter plan? Or does that make no difference?
It's an A&R
It's an
plan,
A&R plan.
not a perimeter plan.
And why is it not a perimeter plan?
Because there needs to be a signature block on the plan that says A&R, and then it needs to have planning board sign. It needs their endorsement. A perimeter plan, I don't believe needs endorsement. It's a little bit different.
Okay, and
So does he have to have somebody draw that up?
yeah, somebody's
So,
gonna.
yeah, so an A&R has an engineer who stamped it.
Right.
And
That's the big
verified
difference,
that
okay.
it's,
And the perimeter to not,
that's just like a plot plan.
it's a plot. And that's not acceptable for the purposes here?
Well,
Or is it
I
a
mean, a lot of
recorded
times they
issue?
call it a plot plan, but it has the A&R block on it for endorsement, and
Mhm.
it's stamped, like Jonathan said, it's stamped by an engineer.
Yeah, it probably doesn't matter, and I'll wrap this up quick, because I'm just trying to get my head around this. That when the deed for this when I bought this, was recorded in Worcester County, it referenced the plan in Middlesex County, and that was acceptable for the Registry of Deeds, all right? Is the problem here, is the town's position that these parcels do not exist, or that they were not recorded?
That they were, well,
They kind of don't exist because they weren't recorded though, right?
right.
It's the same
I mean, it's
difference,
sort
they
of
don't
a-
exist. It's
yeah.
a plot, it's a
Because it-
large plot of land, it's not individual recognized parcels.
Well,
in
it's
our
been-
county.
So that's why
But it's
you
been
need to-
assessed and
that's-
taxed that way for 25 years.
Well, that's a mistake. And that, but you need a surveyor to go out and mark this lot, to verify it and stamp it, to make it really exist.
Okay. But just parcel 1.
If that's
If that's all-
on.
And that's all I want to
You
move
could
with
do-
from now, yeah.
If you
You
want
could
to
do
do
both,
subdivision
that would
later,
be-
you come in later. Yeah, you certainly could do a whole subdivision now.
Yeah, no, that's not.
It's a longer process, but yeah, yeah. No, it's up to you.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and my recommendation would be to reach out to the engineer that did the A&R plan to begin with.
Originally, yeah,
because
yeah,
They probably have it electronically.
Yeah, I've got a call into them.
Okay.
I wanted to
Depends
see.
on what year it was done.
Well, isn't it, yeah, that's
91.
true. But I think it
Before
kind of,
computers.
been going on for a while, though, I think there was some
But they
things
could just
didn't
scan it
keep.
in and.
Yeah. All right.
Okay?
Well, thank you.
Good luck.
That's gonna be your easiest and most direct ways to go back to the original
Yeah,
person. Whether it be a land surveyor or engineer.
and Beals and Thomas is good, they have.
Oh, is that who did it?
Yeah, they're very
Yeah.
reputable,
I
yeah.
know a lot
And
of people there.
how long before you go on leave?
Week and a half.
Okay.
But I'll make sure that you'll get some guidance from someone in town.
Oh, and there'll be another point person
Yeah.
while you're out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Too bad, I feel like that's such a help.
Well, we gave him a lot of free legal advice.
We gave signature.
He could have.
That's true, yeah, we went to
He
the lawyer.
should have gone to his lawyer and figured a lot of that out himself, I think.
Century Mill.
Century Mill, I just wanted to give a quick update on where we're at
Before
with
you
site
go.
conditions.
Have
Yeah.
they improved
Not really.
Did
to be
you,
honest.
did you,
I was
did
with-
you
The road
release
was
those
swept
lots?
today?
No, we have not released those lots yet, no.
That we discussed last meeting?
Because we need to have certain site
We have
items
to have all
taken
those-
care of
yeah.
first. So
Okay.
Fred Hamway is fully aware of what needs to be done before you guys can release the lots. The erosion controls, they're slightly better, but Old Stone Circle still they need to be sweeping it more. It's still pretty dirty, based on, in your packet is the latest inspection report from Fred Hamway. He went out on Saturday, I believe.
I went today.
Did you go today?
It
And
was
what did
very
he
clean.
think? He thought it was
However,
clean?
I will admit, I didn't go down the new road. Or I didn't go, I went kind of a little bit down. the
Okay,
road,
so
but not
that's
terribly.
really the area
I know,
where
I
it's
know.
most significant.
Are these
Down the
photos?
new road.
This is something
Oh,
else,
that's
So
actually.
anyway, I take the first right. Yeah. I didn't go all the way down to up the hill and all that.
So what I propose is just wait to hear from Fred Hamway, or if, Fred Kuhn is looking to get on your agenda, make sure that Fred Hamway weighs in
Sure.
on site conditions, if it's clean, if it's not clean, if they haven't removed this, replaced the silt sacks, that kind of thing. He can give you all those updates. I thought before I left, I would just kind of give you a little more information on the items that need to be, the priority items that need to be done. I don't know that it actually really showed you on the plan what it is that we're talking about. So this is Old Stone Circle here. So the first item was to remove all old erosion controls at detention basin 9B.
So this is back here, this is the main entrance, this is the first right?
This is the first right, which is a cul-de-sac, Old Stone Circle. This is the construction access road down to the basin.
Oh, my bad.
Here.
So this is Old Stone Circle?
Yeah, it goes here and
Got
then
it.
down there.
Okay, this is back here.
Yeah. So there's just old erosion controls around this area that need to get taken out. They haven't done that, so that was one of the items.
Is that whole basin stabilized and all good and everything?
Relatively.
Okay.
It needs to be seeded at some point, but it's pretty stabilized, it's pretty compacted.
We had a list of items for him at last
Yeah,
meeting.
I have those.
These are new items?
No, these were all the items that we talked
Sorry,
about.
I'm gonna keep on cutting you off.
No. So they're starting to work on the grading of the construction access road. That was another priority item, and I just took a quick picture so you could kind of see where they're at with that. That's the road there.
What is this road? This
This
is
is-
just access to...
It's just for construction for maintaining that basin.
Okay.
Exactly.
That's your
So
cul-de-sac.
this is the cul-de-sac here,
Okay.
and then if you're walking down, that's gonna be the road.
What's the end design going to be for this road? Is this going to be
Gravel.
paved gravel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are the first couple of items. Oh, and then this is the swale that needs to be constructed before the lots are released here.
So that's lot.
So, can I ask
All
a
the
question?
lots? or just-
44 and 42 essentially, and that's kind of where they're at with the rough grading at this point. It's hard to tell in the figures, but they've started to,
So, it looks like the entire area is disturbed.
yeah, we're down to the basin it is, yeah.
But it looks like even, so this is the road, but all of this, how far out is our limit of
It's-
disturbance?
It's not that far.
It's not, okay.
No,
Okay.
it's a little bit deceiving in the pictures.
Okay, that's
but
what-
it's
that's what I was
not
just-
that bad.
Okay.
No, this is all still wooded in here.
And that's also,
Yeah.
okay, that's fine then.
So that's been the complaint, that there isn't gravel there.
That's been one of my biggest complaints.
What,
that
the
I've ever
construction
had.
entrance?
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's the other erosion control, issue that Fred stay on top of. They haven't installed.
Because
it
if you're
down
driving on this and you go straight to the pavement, it's gonna all go on the pavement.
there. Yeah.
Why don't they do that? I mean, that's not a huge cost, right?
They're dragging their feet. They keep blaming on the fact that their crusher, their rock crusher is broken.
Import some
but-
crushed stone.
Well, we have
That's what
a
I
lot
said.
of crushed stone around here.
I mean, that's all I need to do. It's, it's 50 feet long, 20 feet
Right,
wide.
helps a ton.
I mean, there's
Look at
still,
Sugar
you
Road,
still
that new
need
project.
to,
That's pretty clean coming out of there, and they're doing a lot of stuff.
you still probably may need to sweep. I mean, this is really, when it's like this, you still may need to sweep a little bit, because it's only gonna get so much off those tires.
Okay.
But it definitely helps.
So then you have the dirt on the road, it rains, then...
And then it goes right into the catch basins.
The catch basin.
Fill the
the
silt bags,
sacks.
change the silt bags.
So you're just clogging up the whole system?
Well, and that
or-
was my whole point last time we met, that I was trying to mention to him, is if they don't protect the drainage system, I mean, I would think the town, this is eventually gonna have, is this gonna be a town road? Oh, so I would think before the town would wanna take ownership of it, they would wanna make sure that's all
Oh,
clean.
yeah, definitely.
And
Mhm.
it's a much
You'll be
bigger
here for
deal
that.
to clean that
Later.
system. Yeah, I mean, now you've got a closed pipe system. How are you gonna clean that? I mean, you can clean the catch basins. Yeah, like you can clean the catch basins and you can clean the structures, but you can't clean the pipes. So if you can capture it before it gets on there, that's the whole point of, actually, the NIPD's permit.
Exactly. So what they're gonna do is, they're gonna remove the silt sacks, and then they're gonna vacuum out the actual basins too, the sumps. So, just to make sure.
Okay, okay, that's a good start.
They're gonna do both.
That's-
And they're also gonna skim off these basins that have.
No, they did,
gotten full.
this is not, this is fine. at this
That one's
point.
fine,
This
but
is
the
fine.
other one's.
The other
down.
one, it should be good too, because they just recently cleaned them out and put the sand down on the bottom, so they
Okay.
both should be fine at this point. I don't think either of them need the maintenance. And then just, you know, the erosion controls along this side of the swell, just to give you an idea, these are the things that we look at when we go out there. So this is something that we'll want to keep our eye on. Fred will want to keep his eye on, just because it's at the total slope and this is all unstabilized, so, and there is wetland down in here, so. Things like that, you know, I'll have to make sure that Fred's aware of, and,
Is that a compost filter sock at the bottom of the silt fence?
yeah.
How often do you typically go with Fred on inspections?
Depends on how busy they are. If they're
Okay.
doing a lot of site construction, I mean, there was a while there I was going every week. And that's a good thing, because we catch a lot of this, and it doesn't get to a point where they need to do a lot of maintenance,
I'll coordinate with him, I'll start going to a lot of these.
but, you know, right now, they're not doing a lot of site work, they're doing more building houses.
Okay.
That's, we don't need to be out there for that.
Okay, okay.
But to that point, if the earth isn't stabilized, I mean, there's a shutdown you can have with regard to maintaining erosion sediment controls, if things are stabilized, or if the ground's frozen,
Okay.
you know, or during winter constructions.
Would be great if Danielle went, because right now we still don't have a conservation commissioner.
Right.
Oh,
Eric is gonna be out, so it'd just be great if you could,
sure.
you know,
I mean, Fred Hamway is wonderful.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna just ask him to check, because his main focus obviously is building the roads and the drainage to our regulations, but I'll tell him just, you know, really keep an eye on the erosion controls, and, you know, I'm not out
Yeah, and
there.
if you want to do a site visit together, we can go out, look at it.
Sure. During the days are actually pretty easy for me, when Fred typically would go.
our day's good.
No, but I'll make it work.
It's just if you need some muscle.
Well, but it's, I mean, you want to see it during the day, because you can't see stuff during at night, so.
Yep.
Well, it's actually kind of funny, because in talking with the town administrator and various people in town hall that are gonna be, you know, taking on the day-to-day responsibilities, and we're Century Moon, they're like, oh, who's gonna go out and do site visits? And I actually was like, well, I think maybe Danielle would be okay
Hand
with
raised.
that. So, not that I was volunteering, you
No,
guys,
it's-
and maybe I'll reach out to her, she would be the
It's
perfect
fine.
person to.
I
go out
have
there.
a tendency, I mean, contractors have it, but they're not very fond of me, because I'm usually pointing out a lot of issues with their stuff.
It's just good sometimes for Fred to have some backup.
Yeah,
from
no, that's
the
fine.
board and.
Exactly. And then the only other thing that I wanted to mention that might be coming before you in the next couple of meetings, they revised their drainage slightly in one area, so they're probably going to be coming before you for a minor modification to the drainage. And I just wanted to point out where it was, and so that you have some idea when that happens. Let's see. Yeah, so essentially, this is Old Stone Circle here. This is detention basin 9C, so this is the first detention basin when you go down the road. This swale here,
Where's the wall, the big wall that was breached? The
oh,
wall.
that's
the bridge,
right here.
yeah.
So this is the level crossing here, this is where the breach occurs. So this swale, so this area in here, these are the lots that Bob Pace purchased and
Mhm.
is building on right now. The way that these lots are being graded, they're no longer gonna drain to the swale. They're gonna drain overland and sheet flow into the basin this way, which I think is better anyway.
Why is it better?
So through everybody's yard?
Because it's not concentrated flow, it's sheet
Okay,
flow,
it's
so
dispersed,
it's
okay.
dispersed and it can infiltrate, it's, you know, some of
Okay.
this will be wooded, a lot of it will be grassed. I think it provides better treatment anyway.
Okay.
So that's sort of, you know, the design change is that this has already been built, so it'll stay in place, but.
Well, that's good, because you've got a stone wall there too, so
Yeah,
anything that,
exactly.
if you have a heavy storm and it did continue to go down, you've almost got two mechanisms for.
Exactly, and what's good too is, this is the property that, that a butter owns that complained about the tree cutting. So this provides some type of visual buffer for him to know that, okay, drainage isn't probably gonna get onto my property because there's this swale.
Okay.
And the only other design.
So there's no issue with the houses close to the basin
Oh, yeah.
being more wet?
It gets all the way.
Oh.
Well,
I mean,
it's a
they're-
new basement, but.
Where, I mean, I would think that they wouldn't be allowed to put the house within 100 feet of that, are they?
It's not the basin, it's just that all the
I'm just
water
saying,
flows.
it'll be soggy.
through.
It could be,
Oh.
it could be. It all depends on how they micrograde the site, I think.
It depends on your soils too. If you've got
Yeah.
really good soils,
Yeah,
you're not gonna notice.
Okay.
I don't know what the soils are in this location.
And that's a pretty good slope. So you're not gonna have, I mean, the only issue would be is if you're building right here.
But it is a lot.
Hopefully the house can be further, a little further away.
So the-
Well, I mean, what's the scale? See, this is,
Oh, I
wanna
don't,
go
this
for
isn't, I don't know if this is true to scale. So the only other design change is,
With the pace.
this is a riprap swale, so it no longer needs to be riprap. So they'll show calculations that it only needs to be vegetated, and Fred will review it and make sure that it's, you know, the velocities are good and all that. So that's that. And I wanted to show you pictures of it. Just a little bit, again, hard to tell, but this is the swale that's been rough graded. That's the high point of it. This is sort of going down towards the basins over here. And then, these are the lots that are getting graded now, so the basins.
So pieces building
over
over the
this
summer?
way. Yeah, the basins over this way, so everything's gonna sheet.
Build them all this summer?
Be,
Go up
I'm
and
assuming. I mean, he's got, I think, 3 up, maybe?
What size houses are those?
You know, I should have printed out, I have
3
pictures of them.
Ish, so they're not the huge ones.
No.
But he's doing a good job doing it. I think they
What's
look
your
nice.
favorite houses?
I think he's gonna like do something special with these, they won't all be blue.
Right.
The stone.
And they won't have fake stone, they won't have fake.
So that's it on Central now.
Okay.
It's a different price point. So, but Fred's doing the site work for Pace.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that was part of the deal.
My trick with this account during your leave will be keeping close contact with him, I think.
Yeah. And I asked Fred to CC you on
Okay.
everything.
I won't
so-
abuse it, but
Is it,
I'll keep in close contact with him.
possible, just since I'm not as familiar with the whole layout of Century Mill, not if this is a lot of work, please tell me it is, just to get a PDF of the latest set of plans?
Everything is on, I've recently, revamped the whole planning board webpage. So if you go on there and there's a link for current projects,
Oh,
click
okay,
on Century Mill, everything you need is on there.
okay, all right, that's perfect, that's great to know.
So it's all,
I was gonna tell you guys that, and I just.
Because I was just thinking, if we
No,
go out for a site visit, it'd be.
So
good for
pretty
me
much
to-
any project that you've recently reviewed should be on there. If you're looking for plans or need something,
Awesome.
just go to the webpage.
And is like that A&R, are they provide, the one we just did with Brennan, are they providing that as a PDF? Like, are we
They are, so
doing that
that's-
automatically now?
Yep, so that
Great.
is what you, typically I try to send that to you in the email
Yep.
before the meeting. The one thing that I'm still working out is getting the GIS file because there was some
Oh,
going back
yeah.
and forth on what that file should be, so I'll work that out. And then the next item, I believe, are just an update on the reports and the articles for town meeting.
so I watched the meeting where they discussed like the initial warrant. They kind of, I don't want to say misrepresented, but they sort of misunderstood some of them. So should we go to like the next time when they actually vote on it or something?
Which ones?
Yeah.
Well, I know there was confusion about the public access, and they're like, oh, why is the planning board doing, it's exactly what we talked about. They were confused about majority based on,
Okay.
Yeah, no, you guys should go to the.
yeah. I kind of felt like we should have been
Board
at
of
that meeting,
Selectmen
because there was like,
advisory, just to like answer questions.
I kind of sensed a feeling of like, I don't know, like kind of distrusting some of
Oh,
the,
on which item? Yeah, no, it's,
Yeah, I'll let Don Lowe know that next time they talk about it.
Yeah.
planning board of
yeah,
planning
one of
board.
us should
which
probably.
item?
Well, and also I know when they were talking about the industrial zone one,
Mhm.
they were like, something like, oh, I guess they don't want us to look at it, which isn't the case at all. I mean, they're still gonna have the site plan review. It's nothing changing for them.
Right.
I think it was kind of like, they were like, well, what, they're taking this over or something.
What was the issue with the public access?
Well, there was just like, who's supposed to sponsor it, first of all, like, exactly what we talked about. They're like, well, is planning board sponsoring it, so it should be this majority, or if selectmen's doing it, it's a different majority
It is, yeah.
vote?
Who is
Or-
sponsoring it?
The Board of Selectmen need to sponsor it
So
because
it's
it's the
their-
general bylaw.
Okay.
So-
And that requires
Yeah, we
only a
talked about
majority,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So then that's 50, yeah, just majority.
Right.
Whereas if it's a zoning
Zoning,
bylaw, it needs to be
right.
2/3. So I know there was questions about that.
Okay.
So it's no longer on this?
It's no longer part of your articles, however, I'm glad you brought that up because Board of Selectmen may need some support from planning board since you guys have sort of fostered
dealt
this from
with
the
it in-
beginning.
in
So if there's
practice.
questions or maybe they'll want you to do a short presentation on what it is. So,
Okay.
and I did provide you.
Well, I kind of got the sense that, they might even nix it,
Oh, oh, really?
I don't know, I'm just saying,
Well,
just
was
from
it
listening to the
access
meeting.
what? Which
They were
ones?
like, well, I don't know if that's really an issue.
For
but,
access permits,
Yeah.
it was something that was recommended by Public Way Safety in their mobility report. I can't imagine.
I'm just saying, like, just what their comments, they didn't understand the
Oh,
purpose of
so
it.
permits for new
Commercial
driveways.
driveways.
Commercial
Yeah.
driveways.
I just got
Is that the
this,
second driveway at the
yeah,
south?
I just got the sense that they didn't understand the purpose of it, like, oh, there's not an issue. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's, yeah, I mean, it could get nixed.
Yeah.
Because it's more regulation,
Yeah,
but,
Yeah.
it is important to be, we do it with residential, to just kind of do it all across the board.
so I want you, so there's confusion over who owned it, and then there was like a thought that, it wasn't as needed, didn't really see an issue with it.
In your
Okay.
packet should be some additional bulleted items, a summary for articles, and I did include, even though it's not your article, for public way access permit, in case you guys do give a
Awesome.
presentation, that way you can just read the bulleted items. It's
What are you
in there
saying?
somewhere.
Yeah, it's right in the rules, so.
There should be, I don't have it. I think I put it in your packet.
You talking about this thing? No,
maybe
for
it's
this.
Oh, this right here. I think you all should have this. It's
Oh,
just
yeah, yeah.
added summaries.
Yep. Cool.
So that was recommended by the,
Public way safety committee.
Yeah.
okay.
Which I think it's a good
And there's
idea.
one
The
in there. for
special
Stan
committee that
here.
looked at 117, or just? in
Not
general?
that.
No, just the committee, the, whatever, the normal committee.
And then there's one for the rate solar.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember there being an issue as a result, but then there was the kind of like, on the industrial one, like, oh, apparently they don't want, like, I don't know if it was like, they thought we were stealing something from them,
Mhm.
but exactly what we were talking about. I mean, it's shared, and you have much more control over stuff like environmental, noise, and
Mhm.
stormwater, and, and I don't see the selectmen spending 4 meetings, 2 or 3 hours
Yeah, no.
at a time. I mean, they just don't, they're not on the same level of detail as we
Yeah, I
are.
think it just helps to talk about Cobham.
Yeah.
I don't know, what are the other, it's Cobham and,
Well, so I was looking at the industrial map. I was asking
This is
Parker about it.
industrial, right?
If you look at it, there's like, right to the east of Cobham, there's a huge undeveloped industrial plot that's owned by what's it called, 117? It's some holder of this, I mean, so there's definitely other things that could go there.
Mhm.
And if it's just as of right, I think the town is,
no, I mean, there's that, I forget the community that lives right
Oh.
next to.
Bolton Woods Way.
Yeah, Bolton Woods Way.
Yeah.
So I
That's a
think
good
it
thing.
makes sense.
I think-
I think you just
Well-
have to talk about Cobham and
Yeah.
that site.
Yeah, Well, and then also I think I read in the paper too that they were like, oh, instead of the selectmen doing it was just a misrepresentation of what it was. There's still the same site plan review for the selectmen, it's just the special permit on top of that.
The way I see it is
Yeah.
like, special permit is like this, we work on it,
Yep.
and then it's kind of like a safety, like if we get it wrong,
Yeah,
they should be voting after us, and,
right.
if we get it wrong, then people can the town can say to the selectmen,
Yeah.
this is wrong, and then site plan review,
Yeah.
they look
Yeah.
at things more
Yeah.
critically.
Yeah.
It's a safety,
Yeah, we work on the rough details and then they're,
It's shared,
Yeah.
it's shared power,
I
so
think so.
if one side gets it wrong.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So it's
so I just got the feeling that people didn't understand that, exactly what we were trying to do too. So my only point is we should, one of us, I'll try to
Yeah, you
get,
should
the
work
next
it out.
time
Okay, that
to talk.
sounds,
And it's probably gonna be the hearing, I guess. Or do they have a hearing or do they just,
they don't need a hearing.
they just give their recommendation in the meeting, right?
I've added a slide, so this is gonna be the draft for, the updated zoning map, and this shows the as-of-right siting locations for solar, and then it adds the Skinner property to the mixed-use village overlay district. So,
Okay.
you can decide whether or not to use these slides or not, but I'll forward them on for our IT guy, for a town meeting.
So if I wanna add, like a slide or two with just some bullets,
Just send it to Linda.
Okay, all right.
Or you can just send it to my email address, because it's gonna get forwarded to Linda.
Okay,
So,
either way,
and then
yeah.
she'll make sure that it gets,
Do you wanna be copied on all emails or you just not gonna look?
well, my email will go to Linda,
Okay.
but I probably will be able
That's
to, yeah.
Enjoy your baby.
Yeah. So,
On the, this whole knockbox thing, can you just remind me again, what was I know it was from the fire department. And the reason that they're doing this is just because it's not a requirement and they want it to be a requirement?
exactly, yeah, so that way, any commercial building that has an automatic fire alarm system, they can go in and shut it off.
And shut it off.
Is this retroactive, or it's only?
I
doubt
doubt
it's
it's
retroactive.
yeah.
No, this isn't saying it's
Yeah.
retroactive. But right now, so if they go to a commercial building, they can't, and then it's going off, they can't shut it off, basically.
If they don't have access to it, right? Right. Actually, we need to probably wrap it up in
Okay.
just a few minutes, but these are the meeting minutes for approval. While I'm out, Jenny Jacobson and Linda Day will be taking on a lot of the day-to-day responsibilities.
Who's Jenny Jacobson?
Jenny Jacobson is the new assistant to the Board of Health and Building Inspector.
So Michelle's old child?
Yeah, exactly. And then as far as building permit applications, driveway applications, David, I didn't know if you would be signing off on those. My recommendation is maybe just have Mike Savageau sign off on the building and
Okay.
then have Harold sign off on the driveway if it makes it easier, unless, it's totally up to the board how you want to do it. I just want to try and make it as easy as possible for you guys. Because we
I'm
do
fine
get
with
quite a
that, if you
few
think it makes sense.
applications.
Yeah.
I still have to reach out to them to make sure that they're okay with doing that, but I have most everything. They have to sign off anyway, so.
So on the potential projects, is it still that
The gas
subdivision?
station. No, the subdivision was the A&R plan tonight.
Oh, that one? Oh, I thought it was
It's
gonna,
no
you thought it was
longer-
gonna be bigger.
We did.
The
Okay.
gas station is the curb cut, if you're looking at Country Cover, it's to the right?
Yeah, to the right.
Or we're talking about
It's to the
replacement of the old gas
Yeah,
station
yeah,
with
it's
the
to
new,
the right.
okay. all right.
So is that
It's
further
here
along
across
that's
the
happening?
spot. Okay.
I'm meeting with the applicant tomorrow, along with other town departments, so I'll have a better indication tomorrow of how serious I'm assuming they're pretty serious.
So all that land, they're just putting what, like a convenience, like,
Let it go.
I can't. So they're just putting like just some huge gas station with
They
like
could do more with it.
an on the run or something?
Just a bunch of.
I mean, so we're gonna have what? It's gonna be like a Cumberland Farms right next to the Country
Something
Cover?
like that, yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Well, it's like they're going head to head.
Yeah, they're gonna put the Country
Country
Cover
Cover.
out of business.
There's some bad blood there. Well, we heard about the strategic well.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Oh, this.
But so in the future, they have all that other land, they can, well, I mean, I guess they can't, unless they divide it up somehow.
They can put houses in on the residential part. I think like 3 houses.
Right, but, I mean, there's all there. I don't know.
So we need a motion to adjourn?
Yep.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
So what utilization of the land is?
What's that?
Adjourned.